Good afternoon and a very warm welcome to your lunchtime news here on TV1. You're joining me, Theruni Karunaratna. Now before we head on to your stories in detail, first your headlines.
Rainy weather to continue. Landslide early warnings for several districts remain in effect. National Vesak openings. Religious events organized across the island. Indian Air Chief meets with Sri Lanka Air Force Commander. 2 new species of mushrooms discovered in Sri Lanka. Sri Lankan medalist at Asian Youth Athletics Championship returned to the island.
Now the National Week of Vesak begins today. A dengue eradication program will also be held at the sacred grounds in the city of Anuradhapura.
Vesak marks the birth, enlightenment and passing away of the Buddha. This year, Vesak Poya falls on the 5th of May. Minister of Buddha Sasana and Religious Affairs Vidura Vikramanayake says that many religious programs have been organized throughout the island to mark Vesak Week, which will be held from the 2nd to the 8th of May.
Various religious programs will be organized from today onwards. We are attempting to not limit these celebrations to this week, but to carry them on further.
The dengue eradication program will be implemented at the sacred city of Anuradhapura, as a large number of Buddhist devotees will be visiting the area during the National Vesak Week. The Sri Lanka Army in an announcement said that the program will be implemented on the 2nd, 3rd and 4th of May. The Ministry of Buddha Sasana says that 6 temples in Puttlam, Kurunegala and Gampha districts were named Puja Bhumi in the conjunction with the Vesak festival. Accordingly, the Puttlam Kirimatiyana Sri Sudamma Vangsharama Mahaviharaya, Pilakatumulla Sri Pushparama Purana Mahaviharaya, Gampaha Siri Parakumba Raj Mahaviharaya, Keragala Padmavati Pirivana, Biyagama Sri Sudharma Ramaya, and the Kurunegala Tissa Raja Mahavihare have been officially named sacred grounds. The President is scheduled to present the respective epistles to the chief incumbents of the respective temple at the National Vesak Festival. The registration of Dansals for Vesak has already begun. The Excise Department says that licensed liquor stores operating throughout the island will be closed on the 4th, 5th and 6th of May. The department added that strict legal action would be taken against liquor stores violating the order. Meanwhile, the Paliagoda Fish Market Trade Association said that shops will be closed on Friday, Saturday and Sunday this week due to the Vesak festival.
Now, multiple areas across Sri Lanka were battered by a torrential downpour since Tuesday morning. The Department of Meteorology said several provinces will experience a rainfall of over 100 millimeters on Tuesday evening.
Several houses in Madrikitiya were inundated following a heavy downpour experienced across the Polonnaru district since Monday morning. News First correspondent said the houses were inundated after the Dekayala that carries water from the Kaudulla River to paddy lands in the area overflowed. Heavy rains were experienced across the Galle district since Tuesday morning. Sri Lanka police advised locals to exercise caution when driving under such weather conditions. Heavy rains also battered Colombo on Tuesday morning. The highest rainfall of 135 millimeters was recorded from Punarin in Kilinochchi during the 24-hour window that ended at 8:30 a.m. on Tuesday. Eggalloya received a rainfall of 104 millimeters, while Kaudulla received a rainfall of 88 millimeters. An earth slip was reported at the Passara Tamil Mahavidyalaya due to heavy rains experienced in the area. The landslide early warnings issued for multiple areas in the Badulla, Kegalle and Matra districts remain in effect.
Will dengue cases spike with the inclement weather? The National Dengue Control Unit said that nearly 1,900 dengue cases were reported last week alone. 55 MOH divisions in 15 districts have been designated as dengue high-risk zones. A recent report issued by the National Dengue Control Unit indicates that these high-risk zones include the MOH divisions belonging to Colombo, Gampaha, Kalutara, Kandy, Matale, Hambantota, Galle and Matra districts. In addition to this, some health and medical divisions in Jaffna, Batiklu, Trincomalee, Puttalam, Kurunegala, Kegalle and Ratnapura districts were also included in dengue high-risk zones. So far this year, 15 people have died due to dengue and the number of reported cases of dengue exceeds 29,000. The highest number of patients are reported from the Western province with a staggering 49% of the total cases. The National Dengue Control Unit says that the risk of dengue has also increased in the Gampaha district.
Now, comments were expressed by representatives of political parties and civil organizations during the May Day rallies held yesterday.
The Aragale began with the economic crisis in the country, but the peaceful Aragale was hijacked by parties that cannot enter politics in a democratic manner, and they made the drug addicts and prostitutes of Aragale loot the presidential palace and the Prime Minister's office. Artists, robbers and prostitutes worked on destroying the country, portraying themselves as the people who love the country.
අරගලයට කෝචෝක් කරමින් අරගලේ තරුණ ප්‍රජාව ගැන විහිළු සබයමින් අරගලේ තරුණ ප්‍රජාව එක එක බිලිබා.
They provide jokes to the youth who were in the Aragale and talk about the way the youth of the Aragale deceived everyone. But we have a different interpretation of the Aragale. Yes, ordinary citizens came onto the streets, but the Aragale was not useless. Aragale activists, civil rights activists, ordinary people and much more came together to say what was said in Haymarket Square 137 years ago, much louder than before. There was a saying that was said in the Aragale that we are the final generation of lost dreams and the first generation of winning dream. For that, capitalism needs to be defeated and love, Aragale, socialism must win. That is where the answer lies.
ධනවාදය පරද්දලා ආදරය අරගලය සමාජවාදය ජයග්‍රහණය කරන්න ඕන එතනින් තමයි ඒකට උත්තරේ තියෙන්නේ මේ විනාශය මේ අවුරුද්ද අවසාන ලබන අවුරුද්ද මුල විතර වෙනකොට
This destruction will become worse by the end of this year and the beginning of next year. Remember that we are on a volcano that is about to erupt. The intelligent people should understand that if we are about to escape from this volcano, we have to start the second step of the Aragale. Words are being thrown around about the 6.9 million, 7.9 million, 5.9 million. But it was proven that when the people took to the streets, the people of the country have the power to send home any leader or president of the country.
ජනාධිපති කෙනෙක් ගෙදර යන්න මහජනතාවට බලය තියෙනවයි කියන එක ඔප්පු වුණා. අපි නිකන් උදාහරණයකට හිතමු රාජපක්ෂ කියලා කෙනෙකුට.
For an example, let's take that you have given the Rajpakshas your house on rent. Imagine these tenants remove the lights, the tap and stole the tiles in the house as well. Would you let this person stay in your house for rent any longer? No, you would drag them out. The people did that with a great Aragale. Despite the tenants leaving the house, the others who were staying with him did not leave. Today, the administration is trying to tell the people of this country that they are in fact building the economy.
ඒ පාලනය උත්සාහ ගන්නවා මේ රටේ මිනිස්සුන්ට කියන්න අපි ආර්ථිකය හදනවා කියලා මේක මිත්‍රවරුනි ඉතාම පැහැදිලි සටනක් මේ රට.
The two representatives of the Wickramasinghe and Rajapaksa families who have economically destroyed this country for 70 years have now dug the next hole that we will fall into. This is the IMF agreement. To come out of one pit, we have dug ourselves another. Do you want to defeat this government or not? Should the economy of this country be prevented from collapsing again? Yes, it must. Therefore, we have a challenge ahead of us. The country has reached a point where both the economy and politics need to be reformed.
ආර්ථිකයයි දේශපාලනයයි දෙකම ප්‍රතිසංස්කරණය කරන තැනකට රට ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා.
Now, Indian Air Force Air Chief Marshal Vikram Chaudhary, who is on an official 4-day visit to Sri Lanka, called on Sri Lankan Air Force Commander Air Marshal Sudarshana Patirana on Tuesday morning.
Indian Air Force Air Chief Marshal Vikram Chaudhary met with Sri Lankan Air Force Commander Air Marshal Sudarshana Patirana at the Air Force headquarters. The Indian delegation was received by the commanding officer of the Colombo Air Force Station. The Sri Lankan Air Force Colour Wing extended a salute to the visiting Indian Air Chief. The meeting centered around cooperation among regional air forces, joint training, exchange of expert knowledge and increasing maritime surveillance. Mementos were exchanged to signify the visit of the Indian Air Chief.
The United States estimates that more than 20,000 Russian soldiers have been killed in fighting in Ukraine since December. Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine was launched in February 2022.
The United States says that more than 20,000 Russian soldiers have been killed in fighting in Ukraine since December. National Security Council spokesman John Kirby said, citing newly declassified intelligence, a further 80,000 have been wounded. Russia has been trying to take the small city since last year in a grinding war of attrition. Moscow currently holds most of Bakhmut, but Ukrainian troops still control a small portion of the city in the west. The fierce battle has taken on huge symbolic importance for both sides. According to foreign media, Ukrainian officials have also said they are using the battle to kill as many as Russia's troops as possible and wear down its reserves.
France's interior minister says that at least 108 police officers have been injured in clashes across France with protesters angry at pension reforms. The minister says that such a large number of police wounded was extremely rare, adding that 291 people had been arrested during the unrest.
Hundreds of thousands have been taking part in May Day demonstrations against President Emmanuel Macron's reforms. Most were peaceful, but radical groups threw petrol bombs and fireworks. Police responded with tear gas and water cannon. It is not clear how many protesters have been injured. Prime Minister Elizabeth Borne tweeted that the violence was unacceptable, while also praising the responsible mobilization and commitment of demonstrators in numerous cities. This is the latest day of mass action against changes that raised the state pension age from 62 to 64. Trade unions want them withdrawn.
8 people were hospitalized following an incident where security officers opened fire at a group of people who attempted to enter a storage facility located on the side of the expressway construction adjacent to the Colombo harbour. Police spokesperson SSP Nihal Taldua told News First that the incident took place close to the Ingurukade junction located within the Foreshore police jurisdiction on Monday night.
An altercation had broken out when 2 private security officers assigned to protect a storage facility attempted to detain 2 men who tried to enter the premises located on the site of the expressway construction next to the Colombo harbour and steal iron and other material. It was reported that a group of locals had thereafter entered the premises and behaved in an unruly manner and had attempted to snatch the weapons issued to the private security personnel. At that moment, one of the 2 private security officers had discharged his weapon. 9 people, 4 women and 5 men were injured in the shooting and were hospitalized. However, one of the women was discharged from hospital later.
වරාය නිවාස ආසන්නයේ තියෙන මේ වැටවල් යම්කිසි ආකාරයකට හානිය.
There are reports that claim that certain individuals enter the premises by cutting the fences located near the port. That is how they steal iron and other material from the premises. We urge the people living along Blumendal not to enter the port premises without any authorization. Doing so is a punishable offence. Do not try to enter the premises without any authorization. Security officers have been deployed across the area and the construction is being carried out by an overseas firm. Do not try to steal the material and equipment located in the area. In addition, if you try to assault and scuffle with others by forming groups, we warn you not to do so. The Foreshore Police is conducting an investigation to determine what exactly happened. When it comes to a shooting, every citizen has the right to self-defense. These security officers also have the same right. They were in possession of licensed firearms. We will be able to determine more details during the course of the investigation and the court will decide on the matter.
විමර්ශන කටයුතු වෙරළබඩ පොලිසිය තවදුරටත් සිදු කරලා ලබනවා සැබෑ ලෙසම කුමක්ද වෙලා තියෙන්නේ කියන කාරණය අනාවරණය කර ගැනීම සඳහා. එඩිතැබීම කියන කාරණේදී නීතියේ Tamanට පුද්ගලික ආරක්ෂාවේ අයිතිය සෑම පුරවැසියෙකුටම තියෙනවා. ඒ වගේම මේ ආරක්ෂක නිලධාරීන්ටත් ඒ අයිතිය තියෙනවා. ඒ වගේම උන් අත තිබිලා තියෙන බලපත්‍ර තියෙන තුවක්කුවක්. ඒ නිසා අපි ඒ ගැන විමර්ශනයේදී තමයි තහවුරු කරගන්නේ. ඒ වගේම අධිකරණයට කරුණු ඉදිරිපත් කළා තමයි මේ වෙඩිතැබීමම තුවාල සිදුවීම කොතරම් දුරට සාධාරණීකරණයද කියන එක තීරණය කරන්නේ ගරු අධිකරණය.
Now in more local news, in the past 24 hours, 3 people, including a teenage girl, have died and 13 others have been injured in road accidents that were reported in several parts of the island.
2 women died in an accident on Monday afternoon in Alaipitiya, Jaffna. Police said that the accident was a result of a head-on collision between a motorcycle and a van. Police said that the 2 deceased women were aged 26 and 31 and were residents of Kopai. According to police, reckless driving on the part of the van driver was the cause of the accident. A teenage girl died and 2 others were injured in an accident in Dumaladeniya along the Vellanamankara Katuneriya main road in Vennappuwa. Police say that the accident occurred when a van veered off the road and knocked down the 2 girls and a woman. The deceased was a 16-year-old girl who was a resident of the Verala road in Vennappuwa. The van driver was arrested over the accident. 11 people were injured in an accident that took place in the Mudukattuwa area in Maravila along the Chillau-Colombo main road. Police say that this accident took place when a private bus and a lorry collided at about 1:30 early on Tuesday morning. An electricity post in the side of the road was damaged by the accident, leading to a power outage in the area. Police said the lorry driver's reckless driving was the cause of the accident. A bus veered off the road and crashed into a canal in Ingurugalla area in Vaturagama, Kirindivela. Police said that the bus was travelling from Hangwala to Nigambo.
Now 2 new mushroom species and a new variety of the same have been identified from Sri Lanka.
This new variety and species were discovered in the research conducted by Dr. Aseni Edrivira and a research team associated with the Chinese Mount Fa Luang University and the Chinese Academy of Sciences. The 2 species were identified as Candylomyces wuhuensis and Termitomyces srilankanensis.
Now the LOLC Divisavya program, launched to lend a helping hand to the students who are the future of Sri Lanka, continued today. Books and stationery items were distributed among students in the Jaffna district on Tuesday.
Under the Divisavya program, books and stationery items were provided to school students from the most economically challenged parts of Sri Lanka. This praiseworthy initiative is a collaboration between the LOLC Group and the Ministry of Education. On Tuesday, the program took place at the Jaffna Islands Education Zone with the distribution of school books and stationery of the students of the Poonkudithivu Rajarashwari Tamil School.
News first with the people.
The award-winning Sri Lankan athletes who took part at the 2023 Asian Youth Athletics Championship in Tashkent, Uzbekistan, arrived in the island.
The 2023 Asian Youth Athletic Championships was held in Uzbekistan. The athletes representing Sri Lanka won 2 silver medals and 2 bronze medals. They received a warm welcome when they arrived at the Bandaranaike International Airport. Tushen Silva won silver in the pole vault event, clearing a height of 4.7 meters, which was also a national youth record. Nilupul Pahasara won the silver medal in the high jump event. Kasuri Nirmali Wickramasinghe, who participated in the girls' 800 meters, won the bronze medal. Ayomal Akalanka managed to win the bronze medal in the boys' 400 meters hurdles.
And with that, we conclude your lunchtime news here on TV1. Thank you for tuning in. Take care.